Welcome to Dave Campbell's Texas Football Online Series Double Coverage. I'm Courtney Schellin, joined by Tepper. And today, it's only appropriate we talk about the Red River Rivalry game.
Yes, the AT&T Red River Rivalry. Once again, OU and Texas are going to tangle at the Cotton Bowl, one of the very best rivalries in the nation, one of the pageantry. If you've never been to the AT&T Red River Rivalry, it is certainly worth your time, although I imagine tickets are pretty hard to come by these days.
Definitely, but the environment is always electric.
Absolutely is.
Always, it's a game for the Bucks. Mm-hmm. But let's talk about, how is Mack Brown going to keep up with OU?
Well, that's a great question. I'm not sure Mack Brown knows what he's going to do because on paper, Texas looks pretty overmatched. I think that their best opportunity would be to try to run the ball with Jonathan Gray, use that big offensive line to push around OU, but OU's been excellent against the run. This defense is going to be, I think, the best defense they've faced all year. This is an outstanding OU defense, even without Corey Nelson, the Dallas product, who's out for the year with I believe, a knee injury. But even without them, this is an outstanding OU defense. The key, though, for me is going to be what happens on the other side of the ball. They're going to have to slow down this running game because they're going to run the ball with Brennan Clay, the running back, with all these running backs that they have back there, as well as with their quarterback, Blake Bell. They're going to have to be able to stop the run, and right now Texas has not shown much of a propensity to be able to stop the run. It just seems like a really, really bad matchup for Texas. I know it's a rivalry game, and you hope that the emotion carries you through what looks like a bad matchup, but for Texas fans, it can't be a good feeling.
If the Texas defense not going to hold up either, and especially when they have David Ash on the bench, then you're working with Case McCoy. Basically, he's working with the run game. That's what he's going to have to rely on in the offense. And then if the defense isn't reliable, then who knows? Well,
and an interesting point about David Ash, him being out with the injuries, I think it really affects this Texas offense. Case McCoy, for all the things that he does well, he's not a particularly good passing threat. That's not part of his game. That's not something that OU is going to have to respect. So as a result, he's going to need to complete some passes early to kind of loosen up this OU defense and make them respect the pass, because otherwise they're going to load up the box against Jonathan Gray and against Dajae Johnson, and they're just going to stop the run like that. They're going to need a big game out of Case McCoy, not necessarily because they need all the yards from him, but because it needs to relax that OU defense and make them respect the pass even just a little bit. Because right now, if you're OU, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to load up against the run, I'm going to stop the run, and once I stop the run, I win. That's kind of the name of the game for them.
Their defense is going to be key. If they stop Texas's run game, then Texas
is kind of over.
Texas doesn't really have a chance.
If Texas doesn't run the ball well, then it's going to be a real uphill battle for them. But, this is also a game that generally comes down to one or two big plays. In the past it really has. So maybe it could be special teams plays. Maybe it can be, turnovers, things like that. It's a bit of an unpredictable game. We thought that last year was going to be a pretty close game, and then, OU came in and blew the doors off of Texas. So You never really know what's going to happen, but on paper, this does not look like a favorable matchup.
What about rumors about Mack Brown and being fired?
Well, it's got to be tough, for Mack Brown. I know that he's sitting on the hot seat, and there's a lot of people who are not particularly pleased with his performance so far. And this could be, a final nail in the coffin. This could be the kind of thing that ends for all intents and purposes the Mack Brown era. If they're not able to come out and have some sort of decent effort against OU. I'm not saying they have to win, but they have to come out and they can't get beat. They can't let OU hang 63 on them like they did last year. That cannot happen. If they go out there and get embarrassed by OU, then the calls for Mack Brown's head are only going to get louder. I already think that this is probably going to be the last year of him at Texas. But
do you?
I think that a big loss to OU could expedite that process.
It wouldn't be that bad of a way to go out.
Well, sure. Yeah, but if I know that if you talk to Texas fans, they want to win this game more than anything. This is the big rivalry game, and so this would be, if they go out and what looks like, I have OU winning 55-17. That was my prediction. And if they go out there and that would be a blowout, and that would be a third consecutive blowout on national television to your big rival, and that's not something that Texas fans want to see.
Right, and that would be the fifth time that they have scored over 55 points on them, if your prediction's correct.
That's just my thought.
Well, that's it for today's segment. So tune in and watch the game this weekend, and tune into the next segment of Double Coverage next week. Thanks.